welcome back. Uh, we have a bit of things to do today. So before we go look at the inn, which is behind that wall, I'm going to cover up a few different recipes. For one, in last episode you saw that we got sheep. Oh, why is that not working? Of course. You saw that we got sheep, so we're going to make ourselves a loom so that we can process the wool. But there's a slight problem. We can't process the wool just the way it is. We need something else to do that too. And what that something else is, we'll see in a minute. Let's find a good place to put this loom though. Sure, why not? Let's put it over here. We will put it by the door. Now we need a spindle. So let's put some clay on top of a stick. The reason the stick's still there is so that we can keep the same shape and form during the entire process. Just fill up that fire pit so it's not wasted. And you'll notice, of course, that my inventory is rather full. Yes, there is a reason for that. We will get to it shortly. Okay, and I've had a water jug break on me. So let's go ahead and, oh, I don't know, take advantage of the water skin mod. Now, if I recall, the recipe naps it just like this. So it kind of looks like a bagpipe. And we're just going to do that for a few. And last one. We actually went out hunting and found ourselves some nice lovely sheep. Yarn, huh? Doesn't take string. Well, bugger. That's the recipe anyway, so I guess I'll do that after I wind some of this off. Was really hoping to do that right now, though. Oh well, let's get back to the show. So over here, this massive building is the inn. No, there's no roof. Yes, I'm aware. I don't know what I'm going to put on the roof right now. It's so massive, I'm kind of wondering, actually, what style would work. Honestly, pretty clueless on that. Yeah. So if you want to leave a suggestion, feel free to. I will actually probably use it this time. In the time being, just gonna light it up real quick and show you guys around as I'm lighting it up. Obviously, it's not complete. We still need beds and chairs and lots of other nice pleasantries. As far as the balcony is concerned, it's pretty small, but if you hop up, you get a good view. If you don't hop up, it's decent. It's very small though. Really, the only reason that's there at all is for this floor, which obviously has no ceiling. Oh, and here's the largest room, aside from the innkeeper's room. We're gonna have a bed here and a bed here, and this one's gonna have 2 chairs, here and here. This one is gonna be the bridal suite. I'll probably charge about 40 francs a night there. If you catch the reference, leave the name of the book in the comments. And yeah, that's the inn. It's simple, it's clean. Right now, we have an awful lot of food in here. Mostly from those deer. Yeah, 2 stacks of cherries here. 4 additional stacks of venison in here. We desperately need to make that larder. I was gonna make the brewery first, but yeah, no, we need the larder. Definitely a priority. So with that being said, I'm going to go ahead and walk you through a few recipes. And then I'm going to make the rest of the blocks myself, off camera. And I'll come back and I'll show kind of a step-by-step how to build it. This is using the Cellars mod, so it's going to resemble a lot more of a root cellar. But in the end, I'm going to put a house on top of it. And the house on top of it's just going to be kind of like a caretaker to make sure things like thieves and wild animals, other things like that, don't get into it. So before it gets too late in the evening, let's show you these recipes. Okay, first of all, let's go ahead and grab us some planks. Make a door, but separate the two. And then put clay, straw, and clay. Now we're gonna need 2 of these. And they don't stack, so yeah. There's gonna be a slight inventory issue there. I'll pick those up in a minute. Next, get yourself 2 of these. And position them just like this. And then put some planks there to hold it up. And that's going to be the ice bunker. That's the main central block. Okay. Now for the blocks types themselves. Basically, you put your wood in the corners, your clay on the tops and bottoms, and the straw kind of wedged between them. This will insulate it a lot better. And that's the actual walls. So I'm going to make a lot of these, and I will be back when all that's done. See you soon. Okay, welcome back for a little bit. The fire pit finished up, and we got everything we needed, including the spindle head. Obviously, the stick was burned up in the fire, so we just replaced the stick, and there we go. Now we can use this to help pull out the yarn out of the actual wool. Now with this, we can use it for a few different things. There it is. For one, we can go ahead and finally make ourselves those leather water sacks, which won't break, unlike the water jugs, which will break. Another thing we can do is if you shift right click, or is it just right click? Yeah, it's just right click on the oak loom, or whatever loom you have, and then shift right click with an empty hand, we go ahead and weave this into wool. Now later on when we make ourselves a tailor shop, this will be moved over there, and then the tailor will do all this work for us. But in the time being, this is what we do, and this is how we do it. So I'm gonna basically get these all ready real quick, and be back with you in a minute. Okay, back for a second. We have 3 wool cloth and 3 lumber. That makes up a bed. So now we can officially sleep out the nights. And they'll be a lot easier on me. Hopefully, we'll have a bit more consistent recordings with that being said. Okay, so let's get over here to the larder. And let's maybe clear it out a little bit. I'm definitely going to want it to take up as much space width-wise as possible. But I also want to be able to cover it up from the back. So I'm thinking one end from the back, otherwise the whole length. Yeah, that should cover it. Because I don't want the cellar to be visible, except for the door. And that should cover it. Now that's going to be the wall piece, okay? The interior can be a total of 7. So 1, 2, 3, center block. 1, 2, 3, and that's the interior. Then we need the wall. So what's this gonna be? Yeah, it should get covered up pretty easily. Anyhow, I'm gonna dig this out and be back in a minute. Okay, that's been all dug out. Now let's go over how to actually lay down the first layer. So I figure I want this to be the center, because that's roughly about the center anyway. And it has about a reach of 3. So 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Now that's okay, because that's going to be our outside wall anyway. It'll just intelligently move it in. But its interior can be a maximum of this size. So once again, the interior can be a maximum of this, which is a 7 by 7, or 3 in radius from the center block. Now what we're going to do is we're going to extend these sides on up to form us a wall. And since this is the boundary, we're going to go ahead and push that in and make it a wall as well. Then we raise it up and cap it. And same thing with the corners. So the entire wall gets raised up to a height of 3, and then you fill it in at the top level to make a roof just like this, okay? What time is it? Okay, it's going to be setting soon. So I'm going to do this off camera, and I will see you guys at the next step. Okay, welcome back. The next step is officially here. That's time to pick where the door is going to go. Now I want a column to go here and a column to go here. Those are going to be the structural supports of the building that's going to sit on top of it. So if I put it here or here, it doesn't matter. But I need to choose which side I'm going to put it on. Because I'm already standing over here, I'll put it on this side. So I just punch out a little hole. And this one's going to follow the same rules. So we do need this level down here cleared as well. And then you outline it complete. And that's strange, I thought I did my math right. I should have had the perfect number, not one extra. You know, I guess I probably forgot to take that one out. Whatever, okay, then you put a door here, and a door here. And you're done. That's all it takes, that's all it needs. And then all we have to do is shift right click on the block, and it should tell you what's going on. So it's saying that it's either not complete or not chilled yet. I'm willing to bet you it's simply not chilled yet. Just because of the fact we just made it. There we go, now it says chilly. It doesn't seem to affect the in-game temperature. Or does it? No, it doesn't. So it just affects the decay rate. Okay. That's fine. We'll move our food on over there, and we also have some ice blocks that we harvested last winter. And some snow that we cleared off the roads. I'm thinking I'm going to put the snow in there first and see if it works. If it does, awesome. And we'll just use that up first, and then we'll use up the ice. If it doesn't, then, yeah. At least we tried. Now, one other thing to keep in mind with this. The, only things that can go in here are either the food stands that come with the mod. Well, the seller's TFC add-on mod. I guess it's not really a mod, it's a mod of a mod. Whatever. Or barrels. Let's see if they let us mix woods. But it's supposed to be made this way. Yes, they do let you mix woods. Okay. That is awesome. Let's grab some food so that it's not a wasted effort. And go start making use of our new larder. With our first piece here. I know it's dark, so actually... Yeah, I'll put this by the door so you can see it a bit better. Oh, bother, my knife broke. Okay, well, whatever. Let's see, how do we put these in here? Well, first let's throw the snow in. Do we right? Okay, so we can just throw it in here this way. That's kind of cute. And then we'll make another one of these. We'll make another knife so we can cut the decay off as well. Actually, that's my medium one. There we go. And yeah, that's the larder. We'll be building a building on top as well. But I think No, you know what? We do have time on this video. So let me get the food situation sorted out, cut the decay off, make a couple more of these shelving units to throw in here, and then I'll be back and we can throw a building on top of this nice lovely larder we just made. See you soon. Okay, and we are back. So we don't have much in the way of wood that I want to really use on this one. So I'm just going to use this to mark it out for right now. I want the pillars to go up on both sides of the cellar door. And then I'll have mud bricks over here. Now what we're going to have is it basically have a facade on both the front and the back until we hit the first floor. So all the ground floor is going to be nothing but the larder. We're going to have a floor on top of this for the first floor, and then we're basically just going to have it large enough to have everything we want for these people in this one room. I might move some of the beds into the attic and kind of floor in the attic, kind of to make a loft effect. It's an idea. It's not a bad idea either. Just right now, not sure. And the reason I'm not doing anything over here is I will be making a wall come straight down here, so the back doesn't need to look too terribly nice. But for the sake of it, for the time being, until the walls do come up, we do want it to look pretty decent. So let's see how we want to do this. It's an even number, so... You know, let's do it the same way we did in the front. Let's put a column here. And then what we're just going to do is we're going to raise that all the way up. To about this point, where we're going to do our typical build and have the ground floor logs go straight over. You won't see them from the inside, but it'll give a nice effect from the outside. So I'm going to go get some more logs, and I will be back when I have something to work with. And welcome back. This is actually not even the same day. This is the following day. Yeah, I meant to do more yesterday, but I ran out of wood, and there wasn't enough wood nearby to... Well, let's just say I successfully cleared out the forests. There's one or two oak trees that have since planted themselves and grown. And this is more or less 2 weeks later in game. So yeah. With that being said, instead of pushing out a 20-minute long episode that was incomplete, I decided to wait till today when I could finish it up and tack on a few more minutes. With the amount of work I'm putting into this, I'm really getting some burnout. So I'm thinking I'm gonna just, instead of pushing myself to get an episode every day, which isn't happening anyway, I'm gonna go ahead and do an episode every other day. So just expect that for right now. This is the steeper version of the stairs. With that being said, you have to have a safety rail up at the top to make sure you don't fall off. Otherwise, yeah, you can easily just walk off. Case in point. And that's only a, what, 4 block drop. So having that little guide rail is very important. Anyhow, let's get back onto the build. I'm figuring I want the chimney to go over here. So, since that's going to be the floor, let's just kind of plan this out a little bit. Okay, and then that's going to be where we have the fire. That will be the bucket and the center, which means those will be there. Actually, we don't even need that because we use the chisel. Which means those will be chiseled. And see, how do I want to do this? Yeah, that looks good. That will be where the food prep goes. And just to even it out, there we go. Or do we... No, I think that looks good. Yeah, we'll curve that a little bit on the outside, but otherwise we're just gonna leave it like that. Let's go remove that other block and then put the chimney up. And this is gonna be very short. You guys have seen me do this before, so I'm not gonna take up a lot of your time. Unless you seriously want me to take up a lot of your time, because I can do that if you really, really want me to, but I figure you guys are probably coming here to actually see what goes into a castle, and not for me to just take your free time. Yeah, that looks good. Definitely. Okay, so let's get on to making the walls. Actually, you know what? I think it might be easier if I just make them this way. It's bound to have a multiple of 9 if 9 goes into it in some way. It's just bound to. And that just makes math easy. I know for a fact I want the oak planks, but then the question is, how does that door look? And that's way too much. I want a window there. Let's just frame that real quick and step outside and find out. Let's close the door maybe. No, I think I want to switch out the door. It just doesn't look right. But before I do that, let me check this and see if that will make it look any better. Who knows, maybe it's just the simple fact that it's having that up there and it's just kind of floating. That's just looking weird. I don't know. Let's try it though and see if that makes any difference. Actually, you know what? It does. It's kind of weird. It's kind of off-putting. But in a strange way it works. In a very strange way it works. And that's one vast entrance. That's nice. Okay, yeah, so as far as the roof is concerned, I'm just gonna I don't know. Yeah, I guess for right now we'll just do the same pattern that we've been doing and go on the inside. That's not a permanent pattern, by the way, just in case you didn't realize it. That's just the pattern I'm using for right now because, well, resources are low and I'm trying to push out these buildings instead of making them nice. I will come back to these buildings at some point and polish the roofs, make them look nice, make them unspawnable, make the streets unspawnable, make the streets look a little nicer. Right now, I'm not focused on that because I want the buildings. The buildings are more important to me than aesthetics right now. It's not always going to be the case, but for in this part, this phase of the build, it is. Anyhow, those walls are going to be that way. Let's try putting these in, see how that looks for a window. I have to get that floor taken care of. Yeah, that just kind of, that brings it all together. Yeah, I like that. Definitely like that. So I'll be using these for the windows. I don't want glass in this build just for the simple fact that I want there to be lots of ventilation. So that one could say that the people that live up here that take care of the root cellar for the village also take care of the different crops and different plants that need the low humidity as well. So let me go sleep off the night. I realize this episode's probably going to be a little bit longer. When I stopped the recording last night, it was actually, I needed 6 minutes. So I know for a fact this is going to be a long episode. But there's a bit I want to cover with me switching formats. And I will post an update out on the TFC forums and just basically notifying people that the format's changing. And for anyone who's just joining the series, it'll give them a good chance to go back and see all the earlier episodes during the days that I'm not uploading anything, so yeah. It's not a bug, it just so happens to be that this area just plants oaks. I went out exploring while I was trying to find a good source of trees that I could just like cut down, not worry about. And with that being said, I went rather far. I found some platinum over here, found some quartzite and some sycamore trees over here, and I never even got a chance to come back around this way, so I had to come back over here, just kind of get back to work. Actually, I think that one zoomed out more. There we go. So I have myself a little tree farm over here. And before you say anything, yes, I know they won't grow this way. That's intended. Ironically enough, it is. I put all my spare saplings over here, and what's going to happen is after I cut down these trees right here, they'll check and see if they can pop any more up, because the time's already been used, and all it's waiting for is space to grow. So now I can come over here and just mass chop down 64 trees without having to wait for about a week and a half in game them to grow. I also have, and that's my dense tree farm. That's for the ones I have way more saplings than I could possibly find a use for. I have another tree farm over here though that's not that same format. It's more of a traditional tree farm. And yes, I will get back to the larder in a minute. So if that's why you're watching this episode, don't worry, I will be back there. And if you really don't want to listen or watch any of the stuff with the tree farm, skip forward about 2 minutes or so. Maybe 3, I don't know. I might be done by then, I might not be. Or you might miss some very important content, because I don't like wasting my breath. Anyhow, I made a more traditional tree farm over here. It's a bit far out of the way, just to make sure I don't have to look at it from the village, city, or castle, whatever stage it's at right now. And there we go. That'll just grow. They'll all be there at the same time. And I don't have to worry about space to grow or room to grow. And I can use that no matter what tree setting I have. No matter how rare the saplings are, I can still use it there. Because I have the maximum leaf growth. And it won't clip into any other trees. And I won't lose those potential saplings. I have no idea on what I'm going to do for the roof over here. I think I'm going to like do a 2 half moon thing. Kind of just slanting it up. Here, I'll take my mouse and slowly show you. Kind of like this right here. So like a circle would be this, and it's just that edge. Same thing over here. So it'll start shallow and then peak. I don't know, that's the best idea I got so far, so if you guys have any ideas, that won't be finished for a couple days after you guys actually see this video. It kind of took a lot of wood, and Sequoia is not exactly easy to get right now, so yeah, I kind of removed all the trees. Anyhow, let's get some of these so that I can show you what I'm planning on doing for the floors. It's going to be a pretty simple floor design. You guys have seen it before. And there we go. That's going to be the floor. And I'm going to have that as the roof. Those is the window. That is the fireplace. Let me see, anything else I need to show you guys before actually doing it? Let me show you inside the cellar. I've made a few more shelves. Spread it out a bit. What am I low on? Protein. There we go. And these have been in here for probably about 2 or 3 months at this point. And the decay it's ridiculously slow. I love it. I put the snow in here and it was eating it up, just as I thought. And then I put the ice in here. But the ice was put in these slots right here, and the snow was here. And then it started eating my ice. So what I decided to do was switch my snow with the ice. So now my snow is the bottom block. So I'm assuming that it's going to go this way and that way. Because I want this to get used up first. So, and it seems to be working, so I think that's the way it is. But yeah, I have a fair bit of food going on now, so that won't be an issue, especially now that I can store my food. As far as the animals, I should probably eat something. Yeah, the baby pigs are are capped. This is what I was referring to. When they're babies, they hit their affection meter a lot faster, and they hit it fuller. So that was the, yeah, that's the father, and that's the daughter. So you can see the difference in how much they like me. I installed this little, no, it didn't fill up. It's weird, we've had a few different rains out here too. Whatever, I'll keep an eye on it and see if it's a bug. Anyhow, the ewe and the, sow are both pregnant. Part of that adventuring got me a lot of food, so yeah, I can show you one of the things I was referencing in an earlier episode with the metal hoe. Switch it to this mode right here, and what that is that's the nutrition table. And then you can hover over items and see the different nutrient levels. Why is this beneficial? Okay. So, these right here, I don't have room to plant, which is why they're in here. But with that being said, it shows you what nutrient it takes. You don't want to plant one that has a need for nutrient B on these slots over here, because nutrient B, which is the middle one, it's very low, and it's going to run out of nutrients and not be able to grow. But you could plant it on, say, this one right here, where nutrient A is starting to get low. Those haven't been planted on, so that's going to be just fine. Yeah, like this. Nutrient A, you couldn't plant anything with nutrient A here, but you could still do B. So once you get to agriculture level of expert, you'll be able to do that just fine. And my trees are definitely producing lots of food, lots of fruit. And my grain farm, it's not bursting at the seams yet, but yeah, it's doing very nicely. So with that being said, I'm going to go ahead and end this episode here. And I'll be working on this. And look to seeing an episode not tomorrow, but day after. I believe our next project is going to be the brewery. Lots of beds too, so been making lots of beds. Next project is the brewery, and after that we have... Ooh, we get to put in a prefecture. So, and to walk around the city, make sure that people are obeying the law, and then take them to the jailer if they're not. Otherwise, just basically being helpful. And hopefully serving the people instead of abusing their power, as it would be more typical. Anyhow, with that being said, yeah, and my chest piece broke. I'll have to make some iron replacements, but when I do that, I'll hang this entire setup. I'll talk to you guys later.